here we've got airline passengers arrive at an airport through several modes of transportation. The graph shows the distribution. So 4 has two parts, A and B. A says, if 14,000 passengers arrived at the airport on Monday, approximately how many were dropped off? Well, the drop off is 19%. So what is 19% of 14,000? I'm gonna kind of ignore the step 2 through 6 because it's not always necessarily the same way, but you'll see. So this says, what is 19% of 14,000? Remember from the first page, 19% of 14,000 means that we're looking for the numbers. So the of implies that we have a multiplication operation happening here. What we're going to do, remember you have to change your percent to decimal. So this is 0.19 times 14,000. So let me grab my calculator. 0.19 times 14,000 is equal to 2,660. 2,660 people were dropped off on Monday, right? Or if that's still not clicking with you, don't forget that it is just a proportion. So set up a proportion. If you know that 19% is 19 over 100, right? Part over a whole. And we're looking for what is 19%, so this is what we're looking for. Well, that's the part. We know the whole is 14,000, right? So you've got your proportion equation set up. You can cross multiply to say that this is, let's just call this x for argument. This is 100x, or x times 100, equals 19 times 14,000. So x equals 19 times 14,000 all over 100. So notice here though, 19 over 100 is the same thing that got us 0.19 to begin with. So whether you do it how I have like here in purple, or if you're doing the proportion equation, what I have here in green, again, it's going to come out in the wash. So I don't care if you do, well, either method, right? One's not harder, one's not easier. They're both just different. Different doesn't mean bad. Different just means different. So B says, all right, well, what if approximately 2,415 passengers parked their cars at the airport last week? Approximately how many total passengers arrived at the airport last week? So I'm going to show you how I would do this. Right? I haven't looked at this one in a long time, so it's fresh off my brain. In a word problem, if I'm not sure how to start, I take every information that I have. So I know that 2,415 people parked. I know that from the given pie chart, the people that parked, this is equal to 23 of the people who arrived at the airport last week, right? So if I want to know how many total passengers that was, well, you can just go to your proportion. So I know that 2,415 over x equals 23 over 100. Because again, remember 23% is 23 per 100, or 23 over 100. Now remember, 2415, they both have to be in the numerator, right? So because they equal. And now remember, this is the total, because we have part over a whole. Part over a whole. Now, if we cross multiply, we have 23x equals 100 times 2415. So x equals 100 times 2415 all over 23. Right? So now if we have this, clear my old stuff out, that's 100 times, whoops, wrong button, times 2415 divided by 23. That means that 10,500 people were dropped off at the airport yesterday. Okay, again, new scenario from what part A was, right? New scenario from part A. They switched it up. So don't let the fact that it's fewer people trip you up. Think of it as separate from part A. Okay. So here in this case, let me see. Yeah. Just so, oh yeah, you couldn't see what I just did on my calculator. This is the same thing as, silly me, let me change colors. This is the same thing as 2,415 divided by 0.2, 3. That is 10,500. 2,415 divided by 0.23 is the 10,500. So remember, back a page, whenever we were asking, where did it go? Here, 36 is what percent of 90? Now we're asking, okay, what is the total amount? Here, what we know that 23% is a portion of it. What's the total amount? So now we know that we need the division to happen here, okay? We need the division to happen here. So whether or not you recognize that it is the division here or you want to do the proportion here, either way, one's not better or worse, they're just different.